Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizz for you, TOOLIZZFLYRYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry and post as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And I posted this week.
You did.
I did.
Saw.
I was very excited.
I edited your caption.
What did I say?
Muslin autocorrected to muslin. I know, which is why when I saw it, I just went in and I fixed it.
Thank you.
Because that's iPhone autocorrect and it's very frustrating.
So yes, I bought muslin. I have a pattern, which I thought, there we go, would be a nice walking dress or nice dress to throw on the summer. And it's multi-sized, so what I'm doing downstairs slowly is using Swedish pattern paper. And I'm putting the pattern size that I think I want on the Swedish pattern paper. And then I'm going to pin that. And actually I need to make both of it so I can sew it together.
I mean, or you do, because we've done it
or
this
what
way.
I can do is I can then cut.
You do it just, and you pin it to you on the back. You pin it to a dress you already have on the back at your center line,
right? And then bring it
forward. Or you have me or Dad, someone help and pin it while you're in something.
It doesn't look like there's no zipper, so it's struggle in over your head. What I could do is I could cut out one half in the lining and have one half in the Swedish paper.
You could.
Because then I could always do the second half a size larger.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's tough.
There's no seam down the front of the front. So, it's only the back that has a
It's
seam.
on the fold.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm struggling.
Or you could just cut out a bit. You could do the pattern. You could do the pattern and then use one of the bed sheets or just the muslin.
I could just do the lining. I'm going to line it. So what I'm thinking is I'll make up the pattern on the Swedish pattern paper, since obviously the lining and the dress are going to be used twice. It's going to destroy the pattern. And maybe I'll go a little larger on my bottom, because my bottom is bigger, and I can always take it in. That's an idea. I'll cut it out in the linen first, which is washed and dried. Put it through again. I'll put the linen through, the lining through again on scald to make sure it's been done.
Yeah.
But I've got my fabric here. I've got two pieces. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do both in the same pattern, but this is a lovely linen poly blend. It's a little heavier, but it has been through the washer and dryer, and that way it can take all kinds of abuse, and it's not going to shrink.
Yeah.
I really get upset with myself when I don't pre-shrink my fabric.
Yeah.
Because it definitely then shrinks on me. This is the color of the dress. It's almost the color of the dress that's on the pattern. And this is also a linen poly blend. It's a lighter linen, so I think it's going to be really good for the summer. But I have a champagne color lining that I happen to have in the house, so I will run that through the washer and dryer and make sure that that's done, and then I'll cut out the lining according to the sizes that I think, because this is a pull-on over-your-head dress, and I don't want to be fighting with my dress, especially out on the boat.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to do that.
No.
So anyway, I was excited when it came in from Mood, and I could get 5 yards of lining for $5.
Nice.
I was like, yeah. Linen. Muslin. What they autocorrected to muslin.
I was like, I know Ramadan's not over yet, so you're not wishing anyone happy Eid just yet.
No, it was
But that
muslin.
is this coming up week, so happy Eid.
Happy Eid.
Happy Easter to our Orthodox, our Christian Orthodox
Absolutely.
friends. And I hope everyone had a happy or a joyful Passover with
Zis and Pesach.
And
a good Easter.
Had a joyous
Pesach. We didn't record last week because we were up in Connecticut. We were in Richfield, Connecticut, with a 1.5-year-old and a
3.5.
3.5-year-old doing Easter egg hunt. As you would expect, the 1.5-year-old didn't quite catch on.
It's okay.
But he at least would take someone's hand and we could show him the eggs that were in the wee bushes and stuff like that.
I mean, she didn't get it as much either.
Not last year. But
No.
she was better this year because I could stand in one place and say, I see 3.
Yeah.
And she would come and she would stand and she would eventually get 1 or 2 of them.
Well, and then some of them were above her eye line.
Right.
So.
And that, but the ones that were certainly at her eye line or below, I could stand there and say, all right, where I'm standing, I can see 3. So,
come here
and figure it out because there's some for you to get. So it was a lot of fun, but we were exhausted. And the drive back, there was so much traffic on the drive back. I was really surprised. Not quite sure why, because when we had gone up for, was it her birthday? His birthday. And we drove back. It took almost no time at all, but then that's the difference between fall and spring, one, and Easter and a non-holiday.
Yeah.
Yes. Although we had such light traffic during the week, during Holy Week, that in my mind it was going to continue. But obviously people were returning and not using Easter Monday as a travel day.
No.
So anyway, what else is new and exciting? My foot is acting up. We don't know why. And it's the top of my foot, not the bottom of my foot. So I went to urgent care yesterday. They couldn't quite figure it out. So I'm going to call the podiatrist tomorrow to make an appointment to see the podiatrist. And I'm getting a new iPad because I managed to break my older one. I managed to sit it on my stomach, read books, portrait with the cord in it. Don't do that because you'll break the C port. That's what I did. I bent it.
Well, you did injure the port on your last one, too.
It didn't occur to me.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, because,
yes, I do this. This is a bad habit I have. So,
yes.
And it's when I get it, it's going to take 2 days for it to download all the various apps and stuff like that. But the woman at Apple who was helping me, said, well, you might lose some stuff. I said, well, why would I lose anything? And she says, you're not going to lose a thing because everything you have in here is up in the cloud. It's going to come down. So I said, good, because I've got patterns on the iPad. Yeah. So from what I understand, everything has been saved in the cloud, and I should be able to get it.
Well, so. When I lost my iPad how many years ago, everything came back.
Right. So I update my software. My software is completely up to date. And I'll go and get that tomorrow. We'll plug it in and it will do its thing. All right.
So I am almost done with my Ardea. I am now repicking up the cast-on here because this is
too floppy.
It's floppy around the back.
What I do is I pick up all the stitches that I can pick up, and then I do a count. And if I'm over, then I decrease that next row. I take it you do.
I counted. I'm about, so it's supposed to have about 150 stitches, I think. Let's look. Let's look at the pattern here, people. You're supposed to pick up about 150 stitches. I picked up about 225.
Okay.
So
it makes it
little.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, because, part of it was I did it last night, and I
get it done.
Wanted to get working on it. I wanted to keep working on it. So that's what happens. So I decided to just finish it and see, and then consult with Mom, because that's what I do. So as you can see, the neckline increases and decreases is laying really well. So I'm going to actually keep the rate the same there. But in between here, I'm going to do decreases.
So what I do is I pick up and knit at the same time. Yeah. So I have everything knitted.
Yeah, and that's what this is.
And then what I do is my second row is also a knit row. But that is my decrease row to get it down to the stitches that I need.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'm going to decrease about from here to here. I'm probably just going to knit two together, purl two together across here. I'll,
That'll do it.
I'll count it to make sure that it works out. But then I am going to, so that's that.
And the same in the back. It's
and then across the back, it's roughly, you can't, I don't know if you can see it as much.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I think I'm going to maybe a half, maybe a third of the stitches in the back are going to go away.
Yeah. But it looks very nice.
Yeah. Looks really good. The sleeves came out really nice. My mattress stitch across the top.
Very nice.
Very
clean.
Very clean. My 3 needle bind off here.
I like 3
very
needle
clean.
bind off.
One thing I did that I was looking at is, so this is only supposed to have another 6 rows put on it, which is the same as the sleeve. I think I'm going to double that.
I would say 16.
So I'm going to double it and we'll see.
Okay.
Because I also only have this much yarn left.
Well, then you go for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Although you'll have more yarn.
I'll have a little
now
bit
that
more yarn. Yeah.
Doing
So that's my thought. I'm hoping to have this done pretty soon because I would like to get on to something new. But I was looking and I started this in July of 2022.
Oh,
so
that's not bad.
finishing it within a year.
That's
not bad. Especially since I got so angry at the back for a while there.
Right.
And I didn't do the front for a while. So front got done very quickly. So we're now just getting this done. Yeah.
You'll have more. You'll have an appreciably more yarn.
Yeah.
By taking those stitches out.
Yeah. And
you'd be amazed.
I'm using so this is knit on a size 5 and I'm using a size 1.5 to pick up. Mostly because it was what was on the coffee table downstairs. Because I was like, Mom, I need a smaller needle. Help.
There's all kinds of needles on the coffee table.
Yeah. So it was just what I picked up. So this is working out well. I think it'll be great to wear. I think it'll work.
Linen?
This is a linen cotton. It is a cotton linen blend, so
Nice.
it is 60% cotton,
Well, that's nice.
40% linen.
Very
yeah,
nice.
and it'll grow. That's the other thing, is that I'm not all that worried about the
'cause it will
length
grow.
because it will grow. I did throw it in the washer and dryer, and it didn't grow that much.
Okay.
But at the same time, or I threw it in the washer. I might not have thrown it in the dryer because I was worried about everything. But yeah, I mean it still looks great.
Does look
And
good.
I think if I had made the longer length, it would have been too long. One thing that we knew, but we relearned at Vogue Knitting, is that my body is made for a cropped length.
Yes.
I'm not a standard length. I mean, my standard length, if it hits my hip bones, that's where my ribbing needs to stop. I can't go much further, or else it just
a dress.
it's not working.
It does.
So,
yeah.
This, the one thing I mean,
That has a problem.
it's okay. It'll block out.
Yes.
It'll block out. But I think, I was thinking when I put it on earlier this weekend, I was like, maybe I should have made, no, I shouldn't have made the longer length. The shorter length works for me, and it looks really cute with this dress.
Yes.
So, I'm very pleased, and I think I'll be able to wear it with some of my pants and such.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good. So I've been working not quite as assiduously as I might on this.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out I have about 46 more rows to go.
Okay.
I'm going to make this the front because it was on this side that I didn't mess up the lower moon.
Oh.
On this side, it had a problem. It had a
Little
problem.
baby problem.
So in the blocking, I will pin that out so that, because I'm not quite sure what happened, but I was fooling around with trying to save yarn, and so I was trying to work a bobbin coming straight down while then carrying the rest of it across because there were yellows in the rest. It was stupid. Like stupids across my forehead. But anyway, it is moving along. I don't anticipate having a problem fitting in it. It's going to be a little tight at this size, but I'm losing weight, so by next winter it will be great.
Good.
I have been working very hard at stretching my knitting as I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sitting there, it's occurring to me that I probably should just move up a needle size or more, so I wouldn't have to be stretching it, because it's something that I'm constantly reminding myself of. And 2 days this week, I thought I was going to have heat stroke, so
Yeah.
I would have finished it if it hadn't been almost 90 degrees. And
Yeah.
we did not turn on the air conditioning. We did turn on the fans. Richie was running around opening windows, and by the evening it was cool.
I think that's also the difference between you're in a standalone house and we're in apartment buildings.
Absolutely. Anyway, so Richard is still with his cane because he had his knee arthroscoped, and I know my foot. So when the next 2-car garage opens up in Mill Pond, we're going to be on it like hawks.
Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, I'm moving along with that. I'm going to be, finish that. I'm going to do the homework for the
Gold Coast Knitting Retreat,
which is next weekend. Yes.
I think there's still open spots if you want to join us.
But I bet there's not many. It should be a lot of fun. We've got Zandy Peters.
Yes.
And we've got, I don't know.
Shayna Blow and Mary and Ariella.
Yes.
So
should be great.
A lot of
fun.
fun.
I've got a couple squares that I have to knit up for homework. So we just pulled the yarn for that. So I think I'm going to finish my
Ixchel.
Thank you. Ixchel. I never remember that name. It seems it should be Mayan or something.
I think it might
be. Anyway, I'm going to finish my Ixchel hopefully tomorrow because I'm going to work on it more tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the hem will be like walking in the park. So, and then I will do homework and then go back to the sewing. So I might have a dress for next weekend. We'll see. I mean, honestly, once I get the pattern set, fitted, it's maybe 7 seams. It's really not much at all. Anyway, to you, who's trying...
I have another sweater. So this is the Poetry, and I have finished the body.
I was going to say it needs sleeves. The only place that I pick up and I don't reduce is in the sleeve.
Mm-hmm. I do reduce if I pick up extra under here.
I don't.
Oh, I do.
I do not.
I do because I usually want to close. I usually want to close whatever hole might be.
I will
here.
Yeah, I will work on closing holes. But what I do is when I pick up, I go down 2 or 3 rows.
Right.
So I'm not picking up right where the cast off is. I'm going down 2 or 3 rows and picking up that way. And that usually closes any potential holes. And by not closing or reducing the number of stitches, that extra width that I get, it adds back in the ease that I've taken away by going down those couple rows.
But yeah, so this is
very
working out beautifully. Well, I haven't blocked this yet, obviously, so it's not...
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it fit really well. That was a great length on me.
It was very good.
I had a plan. We stuck to it. We checked it last weekend. Yeah, last weekend I tried it on for you and was like, what do we think about this? And you were like, well, if you're going to add 1.5 inches or 2 inches at the hem, just do it.
Yeah.
And so I did. I finished that this week, which took a little bit because, again, it was almost 90 degrees. And this is alpaca. So, yeah. So then I will pick up the sleeves and do those 2 at a time, even though they're lace.
See, I've gotten to the point where I'm just doing my sleeves 1 at a time, particularly when they're lace.
I might do them 1 at a time.
Then I leave every decrease. I'll leave that stitch marker so then I can match the stitch markers going down.
That's what I might end up doing, just because it is a lace pattern and I don't want it to get too confusing.
Yeah, it can get confusing. And that's another thing with the color work. I mean, I'm not such a fan of color work. Obviously, I can do color work.
Yeah.
But at one point, I was working off 3 different charts on 2 different pages. Mm-hmm. That aggravates the heck out of me.
I know.
Every time, because I'm dyslexic. And if there's a way to mess up the charts, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, I'll figure out how to mess it up. So it was taking me an inordinate amount of time to get through each row because I was going from chart to chart just different page. I'm finally off of that, and the knitting sped up tremendously once I got down to 2 charts. And on the same page. Okay, I cook with gas there. And now I'm down to just 1 chart that's repeated, all the way around. So it's really moving along quite nicely. But the 3 charts on 2 pages
was a killer.
It just aggravated me because I know that is going right to the core of the thing I do the worst, which is lose my place.
Yeah.
So, anywho.
So yeah.
And so what I plan to do after this week with the knitting, Richard was so funny. He goes, "Oh, look, a box of fabric from Moon, just what I needed."
Good job, Dad. Good job.
I plan to pick up some of my cotton knitting,
Okay.
unless it turns cool again. And then I had that second MoMA to do. And my first MoMA worked up so fast that, I could make the second MoMA in probably 3 weeks.
Probably.
And I think I would do it exactly the same way with that huge collar.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'll start on a size 6 needle and do a size 6 needle for about 4 inches. And then go down to a 4, then a 3, then a 2, and you end up with a 2 right at the neckline.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is I cast on the number of stitches that I need at the neckline, but I just do it on a very large needle, and that gives me the bell-shaped cowl neck that I really like. So anyway, that's my plan. I may do that moment because it is nice to have something just to throw on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what else do we have to talk about? You have something over there.
So I have been, working on my socks, obviously. I'm on the subway for work, and I pull out my socks. So I finished the color pattern that I had of this, I think it's Jedis of the New Order from Mustache Yarns. It's not the full color repeat because I have a partial ball from a friend of ours. So I got it this far, and then I have a gray from another project that will sort of match.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And that'll be the top.
Rest of it.
But what I wanted to do was I wanted to knit the socks to the same point, and then I could put that on. I could put those on, no problem. So I've got 2 more colors. Well, I've got like 4 more stripes, 2 more colors between the grays to go on this sock. And then I started the Freckled Whimsy DK sock, but I left that at the apartment.
Okay.
But I also have been carrying around this ball of,
What is that?
This is also a self-striping.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't know.
No, you don't know the name.
I don't know.
That's very nice.
It also came from our friend
Okay.
who gives me
all kinds of yarn.
ends, the leftovers of the self-stripings. So I figured this would be my next set of socks.
Very nice.
So that one, those socks are going pretty quickly. The Freckled Whimsy socks, I haven't really been working on those, but those have been.
Remind me when we're going to the retreat, because I understand she's going to have yarn for sale there.
Yes.
That I'd like to pick up some of the, the Rowan nylon, very light, ethereal
Kid
stuff. Kid Silk Haze.
Okay.
If she has it.
It might not be there, but it might be at the shop.
And we're going to be at the shop.
Yeah.
So.
We have to look at the schedule again.
Oh, if you would, that would be great.
Yeah. We have to look at the schedule just so that we know, because I have to know where to meet you on Friday.
Right. Probably at the shop, but...
I think we're meeting at the shop, but I'm not sure.
Check the times, because it might be...
It'll be
easier on us if we meet here and then drive up. So anyway, the retreat should be a lot of fun. I have never been to the Nassau County Art Museum, so...
You've been to the art museum. We went to a dollhouse exhibit
You're right.
when I was little.
Years and years ago. Well, that's been a while.
I know. I haven't been in a while either.
So it should be fun. And as I said, they're going to have a marketplace, so that'll be good. I'm hoping for the Kid Silk Haze because I threw out another pair of socks.
Oh.
They were somewhat mismatched. They were threadbare both on the toes and heels, and I said, you know what? I have enough yarn to be making socks. I don't need to be going back in and repairing these.
Yeah.
They weren't my favorite.
Okay.
So it was fine. I know how to repair socks if I wanted to keep them.
Yeah.
But more Kid Silkays. I could use some gray. I could use some black.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could even use some cream.
I know. I might start doing that on my
and
toes.
just keep them in my sock bag.
Yeah. I might do it for my toes because I go through on the toes because I wear steel-toed boots half of the time. When I'm on site at work, I wear steel-toed boots, and especially my new ones, which are great. If anyone is looking for lightweight steel-toe work boots, Xenas.
Xena.
They're phenomenal. I find them very comfortable. They are slightly tight in the toe box, but they have kind of molded out a little bit. I mean, they're steel toe. There's only so much that they're going to mold, but I find them very comfortable.
And they're pretty.
And yeah, they're not ugly. And they're lower profile. Like, I have Tims as my other ones, and they are significantly smaller than my Tims. Mind you, they fit almost exactly the same on my actual foot. And the Tims don't have the, they're fully certified and all that, but the Xenas have even more certifications that they've been tested for, which is very cool.
It's really quite, we feel good that they pass these various safety standards, so that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, so because I wear those, I have found that especially with one of my projects being a 26-story building that does not have an elevator.
On the toes.
I have gone through brand new socks that I had just finished knitting
on the
toe.
So the reason I talk about Kid Silkays is that it has a little nylon in it, but it's mixed in with wool. And so if you use just plain nylon, the nylon is so much stronger than the wool or whatever else you've used in your sock that it might cut the fibers of the sock itself, and then you've just obliterated the reason why you were using the nylon. So the Kid Silkays I have found to be very good. It's just that, we thought we were moving 2 summers ago or even last summer.
Yeah.
We put bids on various condos. Didn't follow them that assiduously. I mean, one didn't pass inspection.
Yeah.
There was mold. The other one, they had done something wacky with the washer and the dryer and put it out in the garage. And I don't know about you, but I'm doing wash every week, sometimes several times a week. I don't need to be out in the garage, which is okay in the summer, but in the middle of the winter, it's ridiculous. And then there was another one that we could have bought last summer if we'd gone up $50,000. But with Rich and your father and I having problems with our lower extremities, I'm very glad we didn't, because then we would have been living on the lower level with the bathroom and probably eating out every meal because we couldn't get up the stairs. So the condos that we're interested in, you can live all on one floor. Yeah. There is a second floor, and I'm looking for the version of the house with a 2-car garage, because that would get both of our cars in the garage and give him workshop space all on that first floor level. So I have finished painting the bathroom. It looks good.
It does.
The only other thing I'd have to do is wash the big picture windows in the dining room and the living room. I'm not doing any other windows any other time. I'm just not happy sitting on a window frame and cleaning windows on the outside. I did that when she was a bit young, and I'm not doing that ever again. Buy me windows that will fold in, and I'll clean the windows. But I'm not sitting out there 3 stories up cleaning the windows. Not happening.
We do not play that.
No, we don't. I don't play that game anymore. So that's the state of the art. I haven't started my embroidery. I haven't done my painting, but at least I am going to get some sewing done. And things are moving along.
I was going to say, I've been working on the swatch for the Rumble Raglan, which actually has a lot more give than I thought it would. It's a 2x2.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to finish out the color pattern, and then I will wash it and dry it, see how it works out, and then probably go from there. And then I have this skein of Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow from White Birch Fiber Arts, which has been in my stash for years.
That is lovely.
It is for a friend of mine who, when I told her about this yarn, she said, great, you need to buy that. And when I tell you that I'm pregnant, you need to knit my child something in that. So she is pregnant. She's due in approximately 100 days. And so I am going to knit something out of this. I'm thinking about the Binnock, which is a French style envelope top, which has buttons here, but it's an envelope neckline, so you can undo the buttons and pull it off the kiddo. And I think it'll work really well because it's knit in the round from bottom up and then split front and back. And then sleeves should be fine. Should be fine with this kind of self-striping situation. I'm excited about it. Hopefully it won't be too wild. Who knows? Who cares? We'll see. It's for an infant, newborn.
That's right.
So that'll be exciting. So that, and then I kind of want to make her a quilt because there's a really cute quilt pattern, but we'll see. I haven't fully decided on that.
They're Afghan.
It's a quilt. But I'm also debating if I buy the pattern, if I could talk my partner's mother into assisting me in making it when we go visit for the week.
Oh, that's
at the end of next month.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
She does that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah. So
I was going to say, don't side-eye me.
No. So yeah. So
that,
yeah.
I'll have to talk to Dad. Maybe you and Ben can move this printer and I can get my sewing machine up here.
Maybe.
That's what I would like to happen.
Okay.
Because if I'm sewing, I really want to sew on my own machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to unplug this telephone. I've tripped over it 3 times. The phone no longer works because I pulled it out of the wall behind the bookshelf.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. This is good stuff here. Good stuff here. But yeah, that's kind of what we're working on over here.
And that should balance okay. Or I could put it, to find it where the wide spot is. I think that over that support right there, rather than in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll leave that printer where it is, and I'll just bring the machine up and put it over there.
Mm-hmm.
I want it over one of the legs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'll work. Yes. Product placement. Sewing machine placement on a glass top table that is supported in 3 areas. So is a V. It's supported here, and then the legs come out like this. And then there is a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch glass top. And actually, Richard, one day, he's screaming my name, and I find that he's tipped the thing over.
Oh, goodness.
So I came up, I caught it, put it back into place, and because he was fooling around with the printer. Anyway, I think it's time to weave in our ends and say goodbye for the weekend. Yes?
Sure.
And we'll probably be able to record next week since we're going to the retreat and there'll be things happening.
Yeah.
So we're really excited, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.